Yes, Kotobukiya did beat out Alter for best figure of the year among the ones I purchased. Hi and welcome back to the channel. Welcome to EXkurogane's annual anime figure awards. We are looking at the best figures of year 2024. Scale figures only, by the way, because I don't collect Nandroids or Figmas, I can't judge those figures. So there are 4 categories over here, but there will be no worst figures of the year award for year 24 because there are not many bad figures for the past year, and that is actually good news. I found like 3 figures that were kind of underwhelming, but not that bad to be called worst of the year, unless I nominate 10 different Fort Japan or Be Full figures, which would be unfair to the brand. Like, I keep bashing one brand for the entire video. I'm not doing that. So we only have best figures of the year, and there are 4 categories. The first one would be the best figures I myself have purchased and reviewed in year 2024. There are 5 of them. 1 third-party resin figure. I think it is quite easy to guess because I don't buy that many. 2 of them will be low-budget anime figures. Yeah, those cheap Chinese figures. And you can also include pop-up rate Ls or pop-up rate normal ones as low-budget figures, Tanitos as well. 2 of them, one is a 1/7 scale and one is a 1/4 scale. And then another 2 would be higher-end, genuine anime scale figures from all brands in general. 5 of them. And because I bought these figures in 2024, it does not mean all of them were released in year 24. There is one amongst the 5 that was released in year 2023. Yeah. Okay, the second category would be the best budget anime figures of the year. Yeah, this is a little bit difficult to define, like where do you draw the line? Is 10,000 yen the limit on what you would call low budget, or 12,000 yen for example? Okay, pop-up rate XL, 1/4 scale pop-up rate at 25k? No, that is not low budget to me. But Chinese brands that do 1/4 scales at 12 or even 15,000 yen, yeah, that is kind of low budget in a way. Hard to define, but I will only select one figure from each brand. Like if Animaster, only 1 figure I'll choose. Bear Panda, I'll choose only 1 figure if any at all. I don't want to nominate too many figures from one single brand because I want to give every brand a chance, right? Third category would be top 20 of year 2024. This is a new category. Last year, I call it a special mention. This year, I'll just call it top 20. So 11th place to 20th place. There are 10 of them. 1 figure brand gets only 1 figure mentioned. And lastly, best 10 of the year. Also, 1 figure brand gets only mentioned once. But each brand can win 1 figure in every section. Which means, for example, if I have an Alter figure mentioned in top 10, I can mention Alter again in top 20. Yeah, each category, 1 brand, 1 figure. Okay, so without further ado, the best anime figures I purchased in year 2024, starting off with third-party resin figures. This is an easy one. If you watch my videos frequently, you will know the answer. Yes, it is Jingliu at 1/6 scale made by Absinthe Studio, right? So if you want to get this figure today, good luck. I got it for close to $300 US, close to that. That was early bird pre-order, by the way. If you were to get one today, it is hard to find one in stock, and if you do, the price would have gone way up by now. Now I'm really happy with this resin figure, and this is like a big major standout compared to my every other resin figures I bought to date. Even Imagination Studios Kafka, which I really like, but this is just so much better. And in fact, this is the best 1/6 scale third-party resin figure I've owned to date. Yeah, it is a shame that, her hair strands are a little bit too fragile. But other than that, this is an incredible Jingliu figure that I wish that a genuine brand would make a figure of. Going by the amount of accessories included in the box, you would think that Animaster's disciplinary committee member original art figure would be the winner, right? But that is actually not my favorite figure I purchased this year. That award goes to this figure of Florence from Neural Cloud by Animaster. 1/7 scale, 8,700 yen. So this is not the cheapest low budget figure by Animaster because we're looking at a licensed anime character over here, game character to be exact. But this figure over here, if you look at her in Army pre-owned section, I think since release her value has gone up for a really good reason. I think can expect one at 12,000 yen or so. Are you all surprised at all? Yeah, I mean, I like this figure so much, and I would even compare her to a Japanese brand figure that cost twice as much, if not thrice as much. Like, I would compare her to a Japanese figure that costs between 16 to 20,000 yen. Yeah, she is that good. The face, right? The makeup, the eyeshadows around her eye, and then the very thin lipstick and everything. The shading on her face is so top notch that I actually rank this one above the disciplinary committee member by the same brand, Animaster. This is so good that shortly after release, her value went up over in Japanese websites like Army, I think pre-owned 12,000 yen. Yeah, pre-owned. If you want to find her at normal prices, you still can over in China in Taobao. And if you can't communicate to the sellers in Chinese, then can make use of the proxy shipper Superbuy, which is a partner of this channel. One of the best proxy shippers out there to buy stuff from China in general, including anime figures. You can make use of the link in the description below to sign up for a free account. It is a free sign up after all. Moving on to the next one, budget scale figure, 1x4 scale. This is an easy one, isn't it? Yes, the award goes to Yuna by Bear Panda. This is an artwork by Bia, 9,000 yen only, or 400 Chinese yuan or so over in China. Once again, you can get her from Japanese sites or Chinese sites depending on you, and she comes as highly recommended. If you buy the Chinese version, there is an advantage of getting a printed photo book, which apparently the Japanese version does not have it. I just found out a few weeks ago. So another reason to make use of Superbuy to get your figures, Chinese brand figures, especially from China. Moving on to expensive scale figures, the first one here would be Astolfo, everyone's favorite fanboy or trap. Yes, Kotobukiya's 1x7 scale Astolfo from FGO. This is one of only two, or the only one FGO figure I purchased this year. And it is a bit odd for me to nominate a Kotobukiya scale figure to be among the best of the year, whether I purchased one or not, right? But this Astolfo is that good. One thing is that he turns out way bigger than I expected for the size of the figure, you know? Way bigger than I expected, and there are virtually no flaws on it. Yeah, shading can be a little bit lacking, right? Yes, Kotobukiya did beat out Alter for best figure of the year among the ones I purchased. For the figures I bought this year from Alter, for example, Lemalin from Azur, that is a fine figure. The shading is a little bit heavier and nicer to look at compared to this Astolfo, but in terms of QC control, that Lemalin figure was just okay. I'm still a little bit bothered by the seam line on the left of her hip over here, which is a very minor one. But, you know, Astolfo does turn out to be a little bit better, even though the detail level goes to Alter when it comes to shading on the paintwork. But if I look at the entire figure, from the sculpting to the paintwork, especially the quality control, then Kotobukiya beats out Alter. It is insane, right? And finally, this is an easy one, isn't it? The fifth one, the best figure I bought this year. Yes, Apex Toys 1x7 scale New Jersey wedding dress version. This is the best figure I bought this year, period. Better than every single figure I purchased so far in year 2024 for a very good reason. This thing is like 43,000 yen, though over in China can get her for 1,800 Chinese yuan, I think, which is, yeah, a bit cheaper than Japanese price. This thing is almost flawless. Yeah, the veil is a little bit loose. It feels a little bit loose, but other than that, this thing has zero flaws and virtually a perfect figure by any means. So this is an easy nomination, really. Maybe some of you will say this could be recency bias because this is one of the last figures I've reviewed in this year, but when I look back on everything I've purchased so far, there is no comparison at all. Like between first place and second place, right, there is a big gap. Yeah. So this is an easy one. Okay, so that concludes the figures I purchased this year for year 2024. Moving on to the best budget anime figures of 2024. Okay, this one is not ranked in any specific order. The first one goes to Ace Modeling 1/7 scale, original Edif, basically another non-figure. Except this one was really cheap. Was this like 12,000 yen or less than that? I don't remember the price, but this is definitely a low budget figure. This came out around mid-year of year 2024 and she looks fine based on user pictures. Yeah, good enough to be nominated as one. Moving on to the next one, we have Bear Panda 1/6 scale, Sakubas Lulumo. Yeah, this one is only 6,500 yen at 1/7 scale. I did not buy one. I don't know why, I admit that. But maybe it is a little bit too late to review her. I guess it is never late, right? Maybe I'll get one if I feel like it, but we will see, yeah. So this one is also easy to nominate. Among the skill figures released by Bear Panda, I have already named Yuna in my own figure purchase section. So for this section, I would nominate this Lulumu because I haven't bought her yet. And she is easily the best 1/6 skill by Bear Panda for year 2024. Moving on to the next one, Hanabi, also a new Chinese figure brand. This is literally their first release and they got nominated already. Actually, they have just released a second figure late December. Unfortunately, there are no user pictures yet and I couldn't nominate that one. So I have to nominate Ayase Ryoko over here. 400 Chinese yuan or 9,400 Japanese yen if you were to get one. I like her quite a lot. Okay, moving on to the next one, Kadokawa. Okay, this is a 14,000 yen figure. Right, it is a little bit pricey on the surface, but this My Sakurajima pair of figures, together with a younger self, two figures at 14,000 yen, that makes it 7,000 yen each, making them low budget, right? And the reason why this pair of figures is so cheap is because they are small. Maximum height 18 centimeters, that is for the teenager version, not the child version. So the child version is quite small, but still, two figures for 14,000 yen, by Kadokawa, a Japanese brand, and the figure turns out actually okay. She looks fine. Kadokawa has been pretty consistent lately. This is an easy nomination when it comes to Kadokawa figures for the low budget section. Moving on to the next one, we have a new brand, Mengxiang Toys, Abyss Bar Yo-Yo. This is a 1/4 scale, about 9,000 yen I think. I don't remember the actual price. 9,000 yen, it is less than 10k. And literally their first scale figure. There is already a review of her on YouTube by another Malaysian YouTuber, I think. I think it's by Toys Panic. Yeah, a figure store actually. You can check out their review. This is a good buy. I did not buy it simply because not feeling the character. Like, not a fan of the character design. I mean, I'm okay with having one in my collection, but I don't feel the urge to buy it. Yeah, so this is purely subjective. This is an easy nomination as well. Moving on to the next one, from Mietos, we have a 1/10 scale Ting Yun from Honkai Star Rail, 5,000 yen. Yeah, so this is like their Mietos Gift Plus series. Yeah, this is their low budget series of anime figures that are meant to go against Good Smile's pop-up parade. This is actually an outstanding figure that I've seen in person in a local figure store. Yeah, the figure is in box, but you can see the figure very clearly. The craftsmanship, man, pop-up parade stands no chance. It's incredible. So, as long as you don't mind the small scale, highly recommended this Ting Yun figure, which I haven't purchased yet, and I'm not sure if I will, because I'm not exactly a fan of very small figures, you know. Okay, moving on to the next one. Good Smile Company actually has an entry. Pop-up parade L, Meja Bezer. Yeah, from Gushing Over Magical Girls. Once again, go and watch it if you haven't done so. I'm actually considering on buying this one. We'll see, maybe February or March, I'm considering. The price isn't too bad, like 8,000 yen or so. In China, that would be around 400 Chinese yuan, and the figure is quite big, so why not? I'm considering getting one. There are other scale figures of her out there by Kadokawa and by Alice. Is it Alice Glint? No, not Alice Glint. I can't remember what brand. I know Kadokawa, is making one. But for a character from a seasonal anime, I think I would be content with Pop-Up Parade L. The paintwork is not the best, but at least Good Smile got the face done so right, because the size of the figure is big enough that I would be happy to have one. Yeah. There are many other pop-up rate Ls this year, but after comparing so many of them, this is an easy winner for me. Yeah, partly because of the face expression. A close second place would be Shishiro Botan from, yeah, the one by Max Factory from Hololive. That one was like one of the top 3 nominees for pop-up rate L, but in the end, I ended up choosing Magia Baser. Okay, moving on to the next one, we have Race Dream, a Chinese brand as well, 1/7 skill Asaki at 6,500 yen, 1/7 skill. Okay, this is not exactly a perfect low budget figure. Like, you look at this photograph over here, she looks incredible. When you buy the actual figure, it feels a little bit underwhelming because the shading on her brown color hair is almost gone. You just get plain brown color. Yeah, that was a little bit disappointing, but despite this setback, where the final product is not exactly reflecting the product photos over here, I look at the entire package. You see, we have a figure playing with a game console lying on a sofa out there, and I mean, look at the whole package overall. 6,500 yen is not a bad deal at all. So she still made it to my best budget figure of the year award. Especially if you can get her for 6,000 yen price range, why not, right? Though Race Dream is more well known for the 30,000 yen Toho figure, I think not yet released. Yeah. Moving on to the next one. This one was an easy nomination as well. Coming from Rebos, we have PA15 from Girls Front Line. This is under their Rise Up series, their budget figures, which is also once again competing with pop-up rates. 6,500 yen, I think, released quite a few months ago. This figure looks incredible. It is beautiful. Moving on to the next one, from Furyu Tenitol series, we have Fran from Tensei Shitara Ken Deshita. Yeah, reincarnated as a sword. So I went through literally every figure made from Tenitol this year. There were like a couple of close contenders. In the end, Fran won, right? Simply because of how nice the entire figure looks like. The detail level is decent. This is not an overly simple figure, and she has quite a detailed sword to boot. Pose is also okay, not too boring to look at. Overall, a nice package at 5,500 yen. Even if you are not a big fan of the anime adaptation or the manga, as long as you like the character design, I mean, who doesn't like cat girls with a huge sword, then you can consider getting one. Not a bad buy at all. And I believe that wraps up the budget figure section. Best 10 of the year. Yeah. Moving on to the next one. Top 20 skill figures of the year. Not ranked in any specific order as well. The first one would be Altus Murasaki Shikibu. From FGO, this is a 1/6 skill at 34,000 yen, which is actually kind of reasonable. But, me being a cheapskate, I'm still waiting for the price to drop a little bit. Like 27,000 yen, I would buy it, maybe. Yeah. I haven't purchased one yet, but I want her really badly. We'll see sometime in year 2025. If I can find myself a good deal on her, that is when I will pull the trigger. So I'm planning to buy one as a big fan of FGO. I already have the other Shikibu figure, the caster one. I like it a lot. This looks to be a very detailed figure, right? And the paintwork on this thing is quite outstanding. I have always loved the way Outer does their shading on their figures, especially the chest region over here, the very heavy shading over there. That is my kind of thing. Yeah. The next one here, Any Gift. We have Chu or Chiu, how to pronounce that, from Punishing Grey Raven. Yeah. So Alter has an entry in top 10 later. Any Gift also has a top 10 entry for the very first time. So this figure, all I can tell you is go and check out the user pictures in myfigurecollection.net. Oh, it is a must-have for anyone who collects Punishing Grey Raven. And I believe this is still the only skill figure of her available so far, of this specific character. Yeah, if money is no object, I would buy it for sure. And the only reason why she isn't in top 10 is because Any Gift has an even better figure later. Yeah, we'll see. Moving on to the next one, from Apex Toys, we have Alicia from Honkai Impact 3rd. Okay, this one is a very recent release, just came out in December actually. I had to put her in top 20 over here because Apex Toys New Jersey wedding would be in top 10, but I couldn't nominate that New Jersey figure again because I've just nominated her in my best figure purchase of the year. So that is all we have, right? Apex Toys Alicia, highly recommended. So far, I have collected Honkai Star Rail figures, but not Honkai Impacted, which is why I haven't bought one, and I'm not sure if I will buy one because of budget constraints. I'm sure if I proceed to review her, she would chalk up quite a lot of views for sure. Yeah. Just that my wallet does not allow me to do so at the moment because my pre-orders for January is pretty heavy. I have pre-orders in December being delayed into January, you know? Yeah. Okay, moving on to the next one. We have a new brand making into the top 20 for their very first figure release. No, this is their second figure. I think this is their second figure. They released this vampire girl in nurse outfit. That was their first figure. I think this is their second figure. Rampaging Twin Tail Arisa by BB Buttons, a new Chinese figure brand. Once again, go and check out the user photos. This thing is outstanding and she costs like 800 Chinese yuan only. This is less than 20,000 yen if I'm not mistaken. She also comes with an extra head part with a face mask which looks amazing as well. I'm paying attention to this brand over here. They have already caught my attention just from 2 figure releases, and this is my favorite one. Her detail level and complexity of the figure is not good enough to put them in top 10, but top 20, solid place over here. Moving on to the next one. Okay, E-Stream or Shibuya Scramble figure, they do not have any figures good enough for top 10 this year. Top 20, we do have this M50A from Girls Frontline. This is also a wedding dress. Okay, overall, I like this figure a lot, and I hope that she isn't as average as the E-Stream figure I reviewed this year. That figure came out in year 2022 also, right? And this one isn't too expensive. I think this is like 26,000 yen or so. Yeah, and judging by user photos I've seen, I like her so much. Just that I'm a little bit unwilling to collect Girls Frontline stuff at the moment. Yeah, seeing that, you know, the franchise is going downhill lately. Just like Honkai collection, like the popularity is sliding. So I'm a little bit concerned with their value dropping over time. Yeah, Girls Frontline figures in general. Moving up next, we have Good Smile Arts Shanghai. Ahri from League of Legends. This is like 27,000 yen, right? Yeah. Good Smile Arts Shanghai does have another figure in the top 10 later, I think. Yeah. And the only reason why this one did not make it to the top 10 compared to the other one is simply because this one is more expensive by a huge margin, like 27k. Even at 27,000 yen, this is very reasonably priced. And personally, I have always regarded Good Smile Arts Shanghai to be playing second fiddle to Good Smile Company. Like, their figures are good, but not at Good Smile's level. But this past year, they have been picking up, like they have gotten a lot better. And in my opinion, depending on your personal preferences, I think this Ahri figure could be a better buy than even the one by Apex Toys. Apex Toys does have one, isn't it? Do they? I know they have Keda, but Ahri, I'm not too sure. Anyways, this is a solid purchase and I love her face so much. Right. Okay, moving on to the next one. Coming from Lovely, an edgy Chinese figure brand actually. A high-end brand, really high-end. Their stuff are not cheap at all. 25k to 30 plus k easily, right? We have Manoji Kanon from Spohame. This is a 1/6 scale and I believe this is almost 30,000 yen. 27, I think. 27k. Cast offable, yes. And the only reason why this figure did not make it into the top 10 because the top 10 ones later are way more sophisticated. That is the only reason. This is a beauty and Lovely has a Best Figure of the Year award last year back in 2023. They have a figure that I nominated as well. So this is one of the most consistent edgy figure brands out there that are competing head to head with Native and Rocket Boy and so on, right? The only reason why these edgy figure brands, right, be it Native or Skytube or Rocket Boy, Pure and so on, the reason why they never make it into my Best of the Year is simply because their edgy figures are not at the level of, for example, Ultra Pendragon Alter by Kyosuke, the one riding on a horse, right? Yeah, they are not at that level of sophistication and detail, but what they are really good at is consistency, that they are S tier in that regard. But yeah, the sophistication is not at the level of those 50,000 yen, 60,000 yen figures. Yeah. Moving on to the next one, Max Factory's Chun-Li from Street Fighter. Man, I have been praising this figure since day one she went on pre-order. And after seeing the review from another fellow YouTuber, I'm convinced this is like one of the best figures of the year. Not top 10 level, because Max Factory has something even more insane for the top 10 later. This is a solid top 20. This is very easy to nominate, seriously. And by now, if you want this Chun-Li figure, good luck finding one at normal prices. Okay, moving on to the next one from Kyoskyo. We have Shuten Doji. This is like the caster version, right? Yep, caster version from FGO. This is expensive, 36,000 yen, but boy, I want it badly. But the bad news for me is that I don't see her price dropping. Maybe I'll get a small 10% off, 33,000 yen. I don't see this one dropping below 30,000 yen, given how popular Shuten Doji is. And she is also one of my favorite FGO characters. Hey, don't get me wrong. It is not the purple hair, okay? I really like her character design. This is in my waiting list. I'll buy it sometime next year. I don't know how many months I'll wait, but I'll get one next year. Hopefully. Okay. Next one from Wing. We have a 1/6 scale Bomber Girl Rainbow. Okay, Grim Aloe. Right? This is also around 27,000 yen if I'm not mistaken. And there has been a number of Bomber Girl figures out there, but this is among the best I've seen. You just have to see the figure yourself. At least check out the user pictures. The detail level on this thing is incredible. Like, to me, Wing Company has always been a solid B or B plus tier figure, but they certainly have outdone themselves with this pole dancing figure of Grim Aloe. Highly recommended, seriously. So this is our top 20. Now we shall move on to top 10 of the year. First one would be Altus Remila Scarlet from Toho Project. Unfortunately, this is a 1/8 scale, because if this was 1/7, maybe she would go over 40,000 yen. I've noticed that Alter adjust the scale of the figures to meet a specific price point. I think they are aiming for the 30,000 yen price point. So this one was pretty easy, because every other Alter figures this year, they are not even close to this Remila Scarlet figure. This was easy to nominate. And even though earlier that figure of Shikibu was 1/6 and this is only a 1/8, you know, detail level, sophistication level, no contest, this is better. Right, this is a more detailed figure, and you need to look at her wings, man. The paintwork on her wings, oh. The only reason why I don't have it is because I refuse to collect Toho figures. Like, I don't want to get into so many franchises. Too many, right? If I were to collect Toho figures, this would be near the top of my want list. Okay, moving on to the second one, Any Gift. So this year, Any Gift is winning my Best Figure of the Year award for the very first time. I think they did not win any last year. We have Leviathan from Echocalypse. Yeah. This thing is virtually perfect. I have inspected so many user pictures of her. Couldn't find any flaws from user pictures, including the close-up pictures. The only reason why I don't have one is because I don't really like Big Mama Milk Jugs. But other than that, this is a fabulous purchase. I mean, even if you know nothing about Echocalypse, you just want ultra detailed figures for a collection, take a look at her. Moving on to the next one from Good Smile Company, we have Hatsune Miku Happy 16th Birthday version. Are you surprised that this one won Best of the Year? See, Good Smile has screwed up so many Hatsune Miku figures in terms of QC. But this one is one of the better releases so far, good enough to win Best of the Year. Yeah, Best 10 of the Year, I mean. The only problem with this figure, should you choose to buy it, good luck assembling the figure. Yeah, I've heard people breaking the figure when they are trying to assemble it. That's one thing to be careful. But other than that, this is one of the best Miku figures released in the past year or so. Okay, moving on to the next one, Good Smile Arts Shanghai. There we go. So it is Suter from Arknights that won Best of the Year. not that Ahri earlier, right? So that Ahri figure, why did she lose out to this Sutra figure? Which one is the more detailed figure in your opinion? The more sophisticated one? Probably the Ahri figure, right? That is harder to balance. I mean the weight distribution and everything and the 9 tails. But in the end, I chose this one simply because of the value proposition. This thing is like 18,000 yen. Ahri is 27,000 yen. So you still get a diorama base over here, right? And this figure is just so nice to look at. Heavy shading on the paintwork of this figure combined with the very affordable price. So that is why this figure beat out Ahri marginally for best figure of the year. And the shading on this figure is a lot heavier or more heavy-handed than Ahri earlier, which is to my own personal taste a little bit of subjective opinion over here. So in the end, I decided to choose this figure over Ahri, but both are just good figures in general, yeah. And this is actually the cheapest figure in my best 10 of the year. From now onwards, you're going to see a lot of expensive stuff. Moving up next, from Kadokawa, we have Shui from No Game No Life Zero. This is not too expensive actually. Was it like 20... How many... Oh my god, I can't remember the price anymore. I think this was under 30,000 yen, right? This figure of Shui felt quite a little bit smaller than the Good Smile Company version. Yeah. But that does not take away the level of detail you can find on this figure. Kadokawa executed this figure to perfection, so despite the small size of the main figure, the detail level on this thing is so incredible that I couldn't overlook it. This was easy to choose as being one of the best of the year as well. Come on, please give us a season 2 of No Game No Life. Yeah. Okay, moving on to the next one. Max Factory, we have this Hatsune Miku figure over here. This thing is very expensive. I think this is over 30,000 yen if I remembered correctly. So I think it is clear now, right? Why this figure won top 10 of the year, not Chun-Li earlier. May look at the outfit of this thing. To be honest with you guys, this Miku figure, like there are way too much stuff going on that I don't like it. The design is starting to look a little bit overcomplicated. But when Max Factory executed every single small detail to this figure to perfection, I just couldn't overlook it. Yeah, this beat out Chun-Li easily for being one of the best 10 of the year. Moving on to the next one. How many of you knew this figure existed? Coming from Mietos, one of the best Chinese figure brands out there, top 5 best, we have Xiao Qiao from Honor of Kings at 1/7 scale. This is not cheap as well. This is close to 30,000 yen. But you just have to look at the paintwork of this thing. This thing is a work of art, man. If you told me this is a Shibuya Scramble figure, I would have believed you. Yes, it is that good. And Honor of Kings, I've seen this title so many times, but I don't think I'll buy anything from this series. I would love to review the figure if I have the opportunity to, but I just don't see myself buying it because I'm not interested in the title. Yeah. Anyways, just look at the wings of this figure. Ooh, beautiful. Moving on to the next one, yeah, I mentioned this figure like 5 or 10 minutes ago. Coming from Kyoskyo, we have Lancer Ultra Alter from FGO. This thing is like over 55,000 yen, right? But you can find one in Ami sale section for about 44,000 yen. And I don't know why I haven't purchased one yet. Yeah, I have been waiting for the price to drop, you know? When this figure came out for close to 60,000 yen during the pre-order period, I told so many people in the Discord group, wait until after release, don't pre-order it. My prediction was so spot on. Yeah, at one point, just a month or two ago, you could find her for 42,000 yen before shipping, right? That is a huge price cut, seriously. And I think by now, you can still find her at a relatively good price. And if you are a big fan of FGO and space is not a concern, buy it. Moving on to the next one, all the expensive stuff. They are the best this year. So coming from Spiritiel, this figure was just released in December. Black Rock Shooter 1/7 scale. This is 45,000 yen. And she is considerably cheaper over in Taobao once again. Around 1700 Chinese yuan, which in Japanese yen would be a few thousand yen cheaper. Yeah. Of course, shipping is going to be pretty pricey. And the actual figure itself, it feels like a 1/8 scale figure because that is a short lolly character to begin with. But this figure is on my watch list. On my purchase list for year 2025. I will buy it at some point. That is it. I keep saying I like Black Rock Shooter, but I never buy any figures in the past year or two. I want this one because of the bike, obviously. So the detail level on this thing is outstanding. The pose is very dynamic. There is barely anything not to like about this figure unless you don't like the flames at the base. That is a little bit, conflicting to me. Like, I'm not sure if I like the flame effect base, but that is just a small part of the figure. They still need the flame effect to support the bike, right? The weight distribution. I would rather have the flames over a plastic rod over there, so that is fine. Moving on to the last one, we have Mama Tiana from Vertex, their original Elf Village series. Vertex is a repeating winner almost every year. Last year, it was a Sophia F showing figure, I believe. Yeah, the mecha figure. This year, we go back to the roots of Vertex, what they are most well known for, Elf Village. So this Mama Tiana over here, I'm not a fan of big milk jugs like I said, but no, the detail level of this elf figure is probably the very best they have made so far compared to every other characters in the series. Man, I mean the intricate details around the waist region and everything, her outfit, man. Oh, this is quite the sight to behold. I think this is over 30,000 yen as well, but worth every penny. If you are a collector of this series, get one before the value goes up. And there is a limited version of this, right? With the grass base, make sure to get the limited version. And that is all for EXkurogane's Best Figure of the Year awards. A lot of expensive stuff in the top 10, I know. But they are also the most sophisticated and detailed figures that the brands behind them executed those figures to perfection without any major QC issues. To be frank with you guys, this year's nomination was very easy because of all those 50,000 yen figures that were done to perfection. Yeah. So, what are your best figures you purchased this year? Share it with me down in the comments below. And if you found this video to be entertaining or enjoyable in a way, please give this video a like and subscribe to this channel for anime figure content every week. And until then, I shall see you guys again soon. Thank you very much for watching and goodbye.